Hello, everyone, and welcome to my journal. This is Lily Kolosova. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Tuesday, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's December, everyone, December 3rd. So thank you for joining me, everyone. So we're going to talk raw eggs today, believe it or not. So, don't you guys like how it all goes? Hi, Diane. Oh my God, you made it. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, guys. So, guess what we're going to talk about? Eggs today. That's part of our shamanic journey, you guys. So, here we go. Okay, so drinking, what I'm drinking. Okay, Caesar doesn't really want to be here on my lap today, so I guess he doesn't like talk about raw eggs. Yep, raw eggs, Diane. And what it has to do with shamanic journey. So basically what I want to talk today about is, well, we're going to learn what nature and natural law. And so for shamans out there. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Natasha. Hey, I have a piece of you here all the time. Do you see it? Yeah, I finally added to my collection your feather, Natasha. So thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, you guys, so I'm going to be talking about raw eggs. And actually, it's a very interesting thing because if you, one of those people that like me, that like to read up on all ancient knowledge and shamanic traditions all around the world, a lot of shamans use raw eggs for healing and for determining what's going on with their client. And so I'm going to talk today about that little tradition, and then so you guys can try it on either your partner or your kids or yourself somehow. I don't know how, but this is what I'm going to talk about, a little bit about something maybe that you can do fun with your shaman and have some fun with your shamanic journey, everyone. So thank you for joining me. So today I am drinking, of course, my sparkling water infused with grape juice. So here we go. This is how it's done. This is about half a grapefruit juice. Grape juice. I sometimes miss some words, okay, you guys. But anyway, and then I squeeze some of it in there, and then sparkling water. So anyway, we're gonna have some fun. Okay. Hopefully this hair thing won't bother me too much. I hate hair on my face. Okay. Secret juice? Hi, Miles. Are you asking about secret juice? Secret juice in my drink? No secret juices in there, but a lot of shamans do use secret juices, and that at some point I'll get to that and why actually some of those secret juices are used. So hi, Amy. Hi, everyone who joined me. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Hi, Deanne. Thanks for being here, everyone. Here's to you, everyone who's here. We're going to talk about raw eggs. Okay, first I'm going to show you this egg. This is for those of you who are of Slavic origin. You'll know what this is. This is an Easter egg tradition, a very old tradition in Slavic cultures, and especially like right now, Ukraine is really huge with, and so this is where it comes from. all that tradition of painting the eggs and all of that stuff, and why was that, and what the egg represented in those cultures. And so in those cultures, what egg represented is it represents the universe. And so it has that structure too. And this is one of the biggest, I guess, examples here that of that representation, of that simple representation of the universe. So it's the cosmic egg, right? And this is what, when those of you that really know about the Russian royalty and why this has came from that culture, is because they knew, again, that tradition goes back way, 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 way back. And it goes back to those traditions to where they again understood Hermetic principles, and they understood what the universe was. Okay, so basically what we are digging back or restructuring or restoring, if you want to call that restoring, what we're doing right now is we're restoring our traditional wisdom, but we're restoring it through within us, through our genetic codes. But because ultimately all of those traditions lead to one, and we are one universe. Okay, so that tradition goes back, and so Easter is what it's all about. It's celebrating the universal flow, the universal spring, and again the waters and all of that stuff. And then, and that also with this also comes that then it's the feminine seeding, right? And so springs, right? So that's kind of like a renewal and all of that stuff. So whatever the tradition, same goes for, like I call us, universal seeds. So a lot of that, as we're reflection, our aura is also a lot like egg. Okay. And so this is why, when you, I don't know if any of you had ever took one of those pictures, they have that ultra light and they can show you aura colors and everything. It does look kind of like an egg around your body. So this is what hi Katya. Oh, I'm so happy you stayed up. Thanks for joining me. I'm late today. Okay, so anyway, so this is like represents the universal seed type of, so this is your aura, your energetic body. So everything is energy. So we're talking about transmuting, because this is what healing is. It's transmuting. Okay, so now, how do shamans apply this knowledge of the what this represents, right? How this is, by the way, my hand painted egg from my trip to Ukraine in 2012. And this is there's an artist name here. It's one of a kind. Am I holding it upside down? No, it just looks inside out or something. But anyway, okay. So anyway, so this is just one of those. I have a little stand for it too. I'm gonna put it on the stand, just like it's supposed to. So anyway, so I can put it on the stand here. And now I'm going to talk about raw egg. Okay. And so, and how do shamans then in those traditions use this knowledge or apply this knowledge? Okay. Because this is what we're ultimately attempting to do. We are excavating our ancient traditional knowledge, okay, shamanic wisdom. And so then what we're doing is we're going to cultivate that knowledge And then we're going to use it to serve your community, whatever it is. It could be just your family. So that's why I said it's something you can try with your family and see how you, how you like this. Since I want it to be fun, I like having fun, you guys. So that's why I wanted all this learning to be fun, because we're following our joy, you guys. And so, yes, Diane, I had a shaman lady break an egg for me and then she read it. Yes, that's what you do. So that's what you do. Exactly right. That's the very traditional original, because this is then represents your aura, and it also represents your body because it's also in the physical form. So then the shaman then can tell you where your problems are, or can see it, because that's because some people, some shamans use coffee. Have you guys ever had your coffee read, Turkish coffee read? I had that done quite a bit. I had a friend that did that for for me almost all the time. It's just whatever, it was her thing. So whoever does whatever, tea leaves, yeah, there's all kinds of other things that people do. Um, so rocks, throwing rocks and all of that stuff. Read coffee almost every day. Right. That's what people do. That's what, women do, because they got to keep up on their tools. They're going to make sure that, you're your best. So anyway, but what you do before that, this is what I also want to talk a little bit about. What you do before you break the egg and you look at it to see if there's anything you can see, or if there's anything you can detect, and things like that. So anyway, so what you do is, of course, you're gonna I don't know, you guys, but I'm gonna say that because every shaman should have this. They should have their own stones that they work with, and the most plausible stone for a shaman to work is the obsidian. The most neutral for the shaman is obsidian, because it's the most powerful. It's the lava stone. Okay, it's the black stone. And so with that stone, what you do is that you've got to move that stone if you have one. Okay, but what I'm saying, if you have a different stone, okay, it has to be with the stone too, and not just egg. Okay, so what you do is you put the stone in your body, like so pretend that this is my black stone, my obsidian that I use. Okay, so what you do is and this is with the egg. Usually it's better if you play a shaman to someone else. I don't know, maybe if you don't have anybody, you can do it to yourself. But what you do is you rub your body with this stone, preferably all without clothes. Okay, all of it. You don't need to have any clothes on. I'm not talking completely, but like on the not on the clothes, but on the body. Okay, rub it. Okay, so then and then this is where whatever your way of doing or initiating the reading, then you do it, whatever some people say, prayer, or whatever they do their little prayer when they do the stone or whatever. You'll see those old ladies old ladies would just and they just talk very fast and do all of that stuff. But for you, it's just like if it's just, if you want to turn on a music or drums, or if you want to turn on balls or something and light up a candle, and then just and then you do the stone. So I'm just giving you guys the old traditions, and then you creating your own. It's just so you do with it whatever you feel like doing it. I'm not saying this is how you do it and that's it. So So anyway, so what you do is that stone and you rub it on the body, because what happens is that stone, it gives you access as a shaman. Okay, so you have to have through that stone, because that's like comes from the core of the earth. Okay, the stone or some other stone that you're gonna put. You can get a regular stone. Use those white stones, just garden stones or something like that. It doesn't matter. Nature's nature. But for shamans, because we got to go so deep and you're dealing with so much, of course, for shamans around the world, usually the best one, the obsidian, is used quite a bit in shamanic work. And especially when you're attempting to help people to clear their negative energy or things that are, or balance people, because that's what you do always for other people. That's ultimately what shaman's ultimate purpose is to harmonize and balance. And so anyway, and then once you do that initiation, then this is what you do. You take the same thing and you take the egg and you rub it on the body. So then the energy can, and then you break and do the read, and meaning you can see things, and and then of course, first of all, just see if there's any like, even if it's not clear, especially like the clear part of the, if it has a little bit of like a uh something that is not clear there, then you can see, because that represents your emotional body. Okay, so what you can do is, the easiest one to start with is start looking at the white part of it and see, like, if there is anything there that's showing up there, because this is the easiest one. But it's not going to be, in some extreme situations when people have spells put on them, that there is sometimes will show up like a dark thing, like a black. If there's something black shows up in the clear part, that means it's some black magic thing. Okay, so for those of you, if if you get that, don't get scared. That's why I told you, it's just this. It could be a spell, it could be a contract, it could be a blockage, it could be generational, because all the generational things go under spells, because that's a bloodline spells for the most part. It goes on the bloodline, so it's like generational. So don't worry if that shows up, but you start looking at that. Okay, and then of course inside, and then if you're where the blood inside of the egg, if there is black stuff there, then that means there's some more physical, and but of course every physical sickness has a root in the spiritual dimension. So then if you have something black in the yellow part of the egg, then that means that there is a physical sickness. So somebody's physically ill. Okay, so I think for right now, that's all. And then if you guys can report to me, whoever wants to try this little shamanic exercise, and see how, first of all, you can see how you feel. And if there is anything like, you can even when you do the egg, you intend as a shaman to feel it yourself too, because you have to, your intuition's got to be there too. So Miles, I know. The shaman stuff that you can do, you got to deal with chicken shit. Okay, you guys. So anyway, so I kind of wanted to do a little fun talk today. I am still in my um painting a painting for my son for his birthday. So I'm still in all that creative mood and things like that. And actually, this is the other thing that maybe I can talk about today a little bit is when you feel creative and oh, Diane, you have to go. Bye. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining, Diane. And we'll see you later. Okay, so creative flow and things like that. And this is why I say, you're talking about chicken shit outfit. Because for shamans, then for yourself, and it's like like all the stones and things like that people use, right? So like I said, for me, obsidian, I have a lot of things that are obsidian, so I always have obsidian around me, because that it up for me. I don't know. I don't have I'm actually don't have, but I have my obsidian stones here, that sometimes even when I do the journals, I would hold one or two in my hands. I have one for each of my hands that I can hold inside like this. And so I'm charging them on the sun right now, because you guys, that's the other thing. You got to charge your stones, and you gotta clean them, and you gotta put them in the salt, and you gotta put them in the water, and then you gotta put them on the sun. So that, if for those of you that use stones for clearing and all of that stuff, you gotta do that for your stones as well. You gotta release, because for those of you that, you guys, if you had any personal sessions with me, then I always do on the end of the session is release and restructure everything back to its original form, so there's nothing behind. So same thing with the stones. So when you work with the stones, same thing, you got to do them. And even though my stones that I use here, they're only my stones, I don't use them on any clients or anything like that, they're just mine. I still have to charge them and do all the stuff. And you don't have to do this constantly, but once every 6 months or so, you do the clearing of your stones, meaning salt and water. But charging, you should do that often on the sun, because the sun, it's all about the sun frequency. Okay, that what activates the connection in your DNA. That's what it helps you. So Moldavite stone, isn't that the one that is not from here, they're saying? So that one, I don't know. Let's just say that I don't have enough sufficient experience with that stone to say anything about it. But obsidian, I'm more than familiar with it. So anyway, but here's back to the egg. And so then what you also do, and then if you find something, right, then what you do, if you find something, right, let's say, then you use your intuition, what it is. And then what you do is, what you can do is, by then taking this, you can create, if you find something, let's say, and before you just discard this egg, right after you done the reading, before you do that, what you can do is have like a finishing ceremony. And so you create that on the spot right there, whatever it is. And then you can include in that ceremony, you can include the clearing, right, of that. And so you can ask a higher self, because it shows up here, that means that that individual is bringing, so that individual's higher self, if you want to use that terminology, is what bringing this attention. So then by instantly asking the same forces that showed you what's going on in here, to harmonize and clear that, you're asking in return, you're grateful for showing that to you or your client. And then you, then, because this is all a natural law, because you always have to be in gratitude to everything. And so then you, with gratitude, release this, meaning you can just go ahead and have a little ceremony of taking all of that afterwards and burying it somewhere with whatever, and then, ending it. And through that, you're creating another initiation for healing, whatever that shows up. And you're just doing it on the pure intuition sort of thing. And even if you can't read all the details, but if you found something, right? And then you can just do the ceremony of clearing whatever it is that you found. And then you can ask, people about what are they feeling? And usually, and this is the thing, people, without even knowing, they will tell you what's wrong with them, because they'll describe, whenever they describe their emotional state, they're describing to you what's going on with them. So when when somebody, how they feel and what's going on, there's other things going on. So anyway, and then what you can do is and then you can do a little ceremony of clearing this, or and burying it, let's say, in the ground, and then asking that the spirit to clear that. And so here's your simple shamanic ceremony that you can do, and it's just like, if you want to feel. And like a lot of people, especially lately, and with all this new age, everybody's like, oh, let's meditate, ta-da, or whatever, let's all be vegan, so, and then let's all just eat chemicals because we hate ourselves so much. Okay, well, if you want to be that, see, because that what comes from self-hate, and then it comes in external at this, like, this is why, like I say, why do this big religious people, why do they have to wear these costumes on the outside? Because on the inside, they're not worth it on the inside. So it's just like, it becomes very obvious, right? So anyway, but the ceremonies and all of that stuff, right? But because we're so used to it, and this is how you come close to nature, to your own nature. This is how you find your own nature, how it is that your higher self operates. Because you want to establish that relationship at all times with your higher being. That's your ultimate goal, is to have that. And this is that state of enlightenment that, many Buddhists have talked about, many other cultures have talked about this state of being in harmony, in universal balance, being in balance with universe and all of that stuff. And so this is just, to always, so you create something that is in the physical form. So that's why I say, since people like to have this ceremonial things in their spiritual world, and it all comes, why? Again, comes back to that, my favorite, Lilith's favorite question. Why? Why did even religion picked up on the ceremonies and everything? Because it has a root. It has a root in traditions. It has a root in shamanic work. And that's why, Miles, you mentioned about traditional native Indian shamans didn't use a lot of stones, but they use a lot of smoke and chanting. And the sweat lodge. Sweat lodge is another one that's very good one, and Russians do use that sweat lodge a lot too. In Siberian, shamans do use that too a lot, because it's clearing. All right, you guys, half an hour. Oh my God. But anyway, so this is why I wanted to talk about raw eggs and how you can use them. Well, Club Idiots Assembly individuals might be afraid of literally these things flying towards them in near future. So that's also, a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor. It's not just used in shamanic world. It's used also to convey certain state of being, right? So it's interesting, right? I don't know how about you guys here, but it's a tradition in Ukraine, I hear, to throw eggs at those that don't stand in integrity. And so I know there's a few people out there that can use a few of those thrown at them. Anyway, you guys, so any questions, you guys, about your shamanic journeys? How is everyone doing? Everybody, my usual crowd is here. I'm so glad you're guys all here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. So it's an interesting thing. So okay, painting. Back to painting. I was talking about painting. So let me grab something. One sec. Okay, I want to show you this book. Can you guys? Okay, I think. All right, but anyway, they are this way, and so it's a really cool book. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about how, like, for me, I paint a lot of times when I need, like, that, I guess, that meditative state that a lot of people wanted to achieve when they completely wanted to just go into the spiritual world. And so for me, that's what painting does. Miles, you said you tried to watch a video coming out of Russia. I don't really watch Russian material at all. Just things that I come across in my investigations. That's it. Nothing. I mean, it's been, I'm so not 30 years. 30 years I'm an American. It's just that I'm an American. I don't understand what's going on there, but I do know on the spiritual world, because there's no separation there on a collective level and on that level, but not like little. But anyway, the reason what I want to talk to say about the painting and stuff is that this is my type of thing that for me, it's not that I'm this great painter and stuff like that. For me, this is my way of being. This is my time alone, so to speak. This is my time, meditative time. This is my time when I'm completely, because when I go painting, everything else disappears. But you can also, in this book, it's not that this book I've got long time ago, and I think it was like 2007 when I originally, you would call it, when people wake up. Okay, when people wake up and start seeing the truth more. So there's different stages to that. And so for me, 2006, 2007, it was another sort of a big leap, let's just say, that I made in my awareness. And sort of I woke up in a way to where I started really like, oh my God, it just, everything just started going so fast. So anyway, to balance that and to that, it was really overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. And so on that time, what helped me when I woke up, and it was really so overwhelming for me to process all that stuff. And I needed this time to just kind of, I couldn't just, like some people, they go and they just go and, sit in the cabin for a week or something. What I did is that, and then to balance all of that, then this book helped me, because it's like, it's chapter to chapter, it's all about recovering your sense of strength. And because what that awakening comes also through a lot of turmoil before that, so you got to regain your strength. And so through that you grow like a muscle. It rips and it hurts, and then you build a muscle that way. Well, that's how we actually spiritually grow here too. So to help me through that, and during that time when I was painting, and so I read the book and did a lot of painting with this book. Actually, I would like paint, I don't know, and through and read, then paint some more, then read some more, and things like that. So right now I'm not doing that. I kind of looked through it, read a few things and things like that. So I'm not, so I just wanted to share that book with you. But for those of you who might be overwhelmed, and I'm not saying you gotta go and paint. This actually applies to any artist. So whatever artist thing you do. So it just, for me, it was painting on that time, because that's what I could do. And so this is what I've been doing, because I've been doing that. I've been going to art school since I was like 9, for like 5 years in high school. Throughout the school, it was my extracurriculum activity. It was art. So that's what I do. And so this is for all artists, but it kind of talks about the process, and it helps you. It truly is, because it did help me, because you got to stay creative through this process, because what's happening is, it's that your awakening is the fire, but you can get burned out, right? And so that's why, that's your creativity is there too. So some people can fall into, because it's too much, it's too overwhelming sometimes to gain. Like I said, okay, you shaman, you want to gain that 360 degrees, but then you struggle, you go through all this shit. Yeah, right. And then you get there and you're like, oh, okay, I got 360 degrees. And then you go, and then it hits you like a hammer in the head, like a brick in your face. Right. And it's a brick in your face. Oh, Natasha, you said you love my artwork. Thank you. You saw it. So thank you, Natasha. Yeah, you guys, I'll show you some of my art eventually. So but anyway, so as you get through this, and so it feels heavy, and it feels all that stuff, and then you get that like a 360-degree view. Like I said, you see something, you recognize something had happened in your life, and then it almost like takes your breath away. Then you settle in, and then you realize how, because you see everything, you see the positive and you see the negative too. And so, and the negative is, and at first, when you get there and when you originally see the realization come here, by the time it makes sense for your conscious mind, it's going to take a little time. And that's why I say do things and allow yourself and do these initiations for things that you need to do when you feel like that. When you feel like this, when you feel you're ready for a new realization, then do the initiation, because you need to, like I said, be easy on your body, and be grateful to your body for integrating all this, because there is no separation. This is the vehicle from what you operate in this reality as a creator being. And so then for the artists, right? And then most of you guys are artists, and art, whatever you do in art, it becomes that this is what gives you joy, right? This is your creative expression. And so whatever it is that you do, once you do that, it will help you. I don't know. For me, I'm just going to share with you guys how for me. Okay. So if I go, okay, most of my things, when at night I would wake up in the morning and I would have this, like, okay, I all of a sudden I would see that there's a bigger picture came together, and then it becomes a little bit overwhelming. Okay. So I can go and start painting, and I'm not thinking about it to where I am also following my thinking pattern. I just allowed my conscious mind the freedom to think whatever it wants to think, because I allow that energy or that knowledge that already released in my head that I don't even have words for yet, right? Once I feel that something like that had happened and I feel that in the morning, then I can just go and paint or do something and not think about it. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, is not to think about it, because you immediately overthink it and you'll go into monkey mind, and you might as well just forget about it. Forget about it. So you got to give yourself that time. You basically got to give your conscious mind 100% of your attention, meaning you got to give it rest. Okay? And so that's what you do, and let it work. And so, because this is all about allowing the inner force to express or expand. Hi, Naraf, you made it. Cooking is beautiful. Oh yeah, my goodness. Cooking could be amazing. Amazing creative experience. Just do creative stuff. Go play a game. Or whatever, go for a walk, for a run. This is the other thing why I like running, and because it's just another form of meditation for me, and allowing my mind that freedom, my conscious mind, to align itself to my higher being. It's just trusting that your mind will catch up, and then whatever it is, because sometimes that gap, when you feel before the any realization, you'll feel the gap, you'll feel that emotional like a wave. You'll feel the deep waters. You feel like almost you're on the bottom of the ocean. This is where all the scary creatures are. You're in deep, deep waters emotionally. You feel that. You feel it. You feel the pressure. It's like a pressure. The deeper you are in emotionally, the deeper you are, the more pressure you will feel. Emotional, like a pressure on your emotional body. But anyway, Sue, hi. Sue, you said dancing for me. Oh my goodness, dancing is awesome too. Dancing music. Oh, playing music. That's immediately puts you into that, and your mind just, because the frequency helps too with the music. So anyway, I hope you guys had fun with me this afternoon. This been a fun one. So enjoy those raw eggs, have fun with them. And there's a lot other stuff. You guys know that there's those of you that know a lot of like a black magic, especially the one that Slavs do and all of that. Middle East, oof, they do even worse black magic than Slavs do. They use a lot of eggs too, and so, and they put the eggs and to the person that they want to do harm to, and they have to deliver that egg have to be delivered, and once it's delivered, that's when it's considered done. So that's also, see how that operates. But anyway, so thank you. Oh wow, wonderful. Thank you, Katya, thank you so much. Gata, thank you. Omelet for you tomorrow. Wonderful. And you're a beautiful artist, and your art is beautiful. Oh my God. So thank you. Thank you everyone for joining me. Caesar, did you want to say bye to everybody? No, he doesn't care for egg today. He doesn't care for the egg talk. First time. So anyway, but thank you everyone for joining me. Until next time, everyone, stay wild and enjoy your raw eggs. Love you, everyone. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.